All righty. Okay, so lying down and just, I'm not going to lie down while I talk to you guys, but you guys go ahead and lie down. Place your hands on your belly and just begin breathing to expand into the belly as though you're trying to use your inhale and your diaphragm to stretch the muscles that support your abdomen, right? So your abdominal wall, your transverse, your internal oblique, even expand so much into the sides of your torso you feel like you're getting to stretch the muscles that support the side body. Pull the ribs open. So it's a really muscular engagement that you are allowing for maximum expansion. As you exhale, let all of that deflate. And now we're using the exhale as a workout for the abdominal muscles. And again, not just your abdominal wall, but those deeper, more intrinsic muscle groups. Imagine and intend that you're pulling the sides of your torso also consciously toward midline. So we're working the muscles of the side body. Pull the ribs toward your spine and toward each other as you finish your exhalation. On your inhale, let the belly rise even more than it did before. But also start to push the breath into the back of the body so your lower back expands into the earth. As you exhale, engage your abdominal muscles, engage all of the muscles that cinch you in, wrap that strength around your spine. And do one more breath like that, inhaling fully into the belly, the lower back, the sides of your torso, all the way down into the pelvis, all the way up into the chest this time. As you exhale, engage. Empty out the pelvis, empty out the belly, empty the ribs, empty the chest and the upper back. And as you hold empty now, find your bandha. If you're not sure what Uddiyana Bandha is, it's easy to find here, especially with your hands on your belly. I want you to pull the belly button away from your hands. Pull the navel away from your palms. This will slightly push the lower back into the floor even more. Take a deep in-breath. Exhale all the air out. Hollow out the belly. Find Uddiyana Bandha. Once the navel draws down toward the spine and presses the lower back more into the floor, then pull the belly button towards your ribs. Not with your hands, right, but just with that internal contraction. You're starting to feel even stronger there. Do that one more time. Take an inhale. Let the belly expand. Exhale all the air out. Once you're completely empty, keep the action of exhale going. Keep hugging into midline. Navel draws down, and then it's like you're trying to scoop the belly out, vacuuming the internal organs in and up toward the ribs. All right, now we're going to keep using that contraction as we move through our practice today. But let's go ahead and bring the right knee in, just the right knee into your chest. Take a huge inhale now over into the right rib. As you exhale, draw the right knee in a bit closer to your chest. And really more toward the right armpit if we're being precise. Take another inhale. This time, lift the left leg up. Just let it hang there parallel with, I shouldn't say hang. Let it extend out of the hips, parallel with the floor. Exhale, wrap the right elbow around the right knee and draw the right knee toward the right side of the room. Take another deep inhale. This time, breathe to the back of your right ribs. Expand the back ribs into the earth. Keep the left leg actively reaching forward. Exhale, engage in the lower core so that you're scooping your right glute off the floor, or at least intending to, which allows the right knee to come even closer to the right armpit or the crease of the right elbow. So now release that and take the other side. So we're going to extend the right leg down to the ground first. Draw the left knee in. Huge inhale into the front of your left rib. Expand those left ribs up to the left side. Strong exhale, push down with the back ribs. Right navel draws down to the spine, find your bandha. Bring the left knee more toward left armpit, wrapping the left elbow around the left knee if you can, or left shin really, and bring your right leg up, off the floor, just parallel with the ground. Take a deep inhale into the left side of the ribs, so left side body expands toward left inner thigh. Exhale, draw the knee in toward the armpit even more. Extend the right leg stronger. Now take an inhale into your lower back, into the back of your ribs. This time as you exhale, scoop the left sit bone off the ground to the best of your ability. Bring the left knee closer to left shoulder. Reach through the right leg. Feel a nice, easy letting go of tension there in the lower back. Now bring both knees in. So we're just going to rock side to side for a moment. Both knees are not very close at this point. Just use your knees as handles to rock side to side. And then bring both knees in a bit closer. Right knee toward right armpit, left knee toward left armpit. Flex your feet, turn your heels in and your toes out. Feel the nice easy stretch on your inner thighs as you take a hold of your inner shins and coax the heels in even more and the toes out even more. But once you have externally rotated the shins, take your hands to the inner calf so that you're reaching through that space between the legs, taking your thumbs underneath the outer calf and kind of rotating externally the calf muscles on purpose. Take one final inhale here. Make sure your lower back right now is on the floor. And exhale, we're going to bring the heels down to the ground, but your heels are going to be on the outer edges of your mat, so much wider than your hips, with your toes still turned out and your heels still turned in. Take an in-breath and let the sacrum descend toward the ground, which means your lumbar spine is going to be arching away, but as I'm showing you, we're not overarching the entire back off the floor. So make sure that even though your lumbar spine is off the floor, the back of your ribs are on the floor to the best of your ability. And this is rough when we have the feet separate like this, but that's the direction we're moving in. And then to just increase mobility, the sacrum is going to move down toward the earth. As you exhale, the sacrum moves up off of the ground, and now we're pressing the small of the back down. So we're finding Uddiyana Bandha on that exhalation. Then take an inhale and peel the spine one vertebra at a time off the floor. Once you get into your back bend here, take an exhale and push down through the soles of both feet. Inhale to reach your arms overhead. Your chin is moving away from the soft part of the throat. We protect the natural curve of your cervical spine. Exhale, bring your arms and your spine down at the same time. But pull the pelvis forward to lengthen the amount of time it takes to bring your torso down, one vertebra at a time to the best of your ability. Touch the pelvis down and the hands down at the same time. Inhale, sacrum descends, lumbar spine arches, the back of your ribs are on the ground. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up, press the small of your back down. Feel your legs engage pretty dynamically there. Take your next inhale to peel the rest of the spine off the floor. This time, bring your arms up as you're bringing your spine off the floor. Notice how much your legs have to work to slow down. So it's one vertebra and the next, and then the next until you're all the way up on the back so the shoulders, even off of your shoulder blades. Stay here, exhale, push down through the heels and the inner edges of your feet. Take one more inhale, reach your knees forward, pull your fingers back. Exhale, bring your arms and your legs, and your spine down even more fluidly, even more gracefully and slowly than we did on that first set. And when you get right to about the middle of your back, it's going to feel like you just want to drop the butt down. Pull the sit bones forward, pull the back of the pelvis forward so that you can roll through that lower thoracic spine and then through the lumbar spine, and then allow the sacrum to touch down on inhale. Just one more. Exhale, scoop pelvis up. Engage Uddiyana Bandha there. We want to find that mobility where the sacrum can lift while the small of your back is definitely on the ground. Inhale, root down through soles of feet. Pull pelvis forward as you lift it up. Reach your arms up as you lift the rest of the spine up into a bridge pose. Little variation on bridge pose. Once you get there, exhale, push down through inner edges of feet. Really root down through your heels. Feel your calves working. Inhale, float higher and pull the knees and the fingertips into equal and opposite directions. Exhale, please move even more slowly, rolling one vertebra down and then the next until you find you've rolled all the way onto the shoulder blades, then roll through the, the lower ribs, the back of your lower rib cage. You'll notice you have to engage your core to slow that down. Pull the pelvis forward to slow down through the lower thoracic spine, through the lumbar spine, and then inhale your sacrum to the earth. Take a deep inhale here. Reach your arms out now to either side of the room. Exhale, bring your knees over to the left. With your knees drawing to the left, hollow out the lower belly left side. And in hollowing out that lower belly left side, so we're finding Uddiyana Bandha there on the right side of the lower belly. Use that to draw the right knee closer to the floor. Inhale the knees back up. Exhale, knees over to the right. Again, strong exhale, hold empty. Find Uddiyana Bandha on the left side of your body. So we want to feel like we're concaving everything inside that left hip. Let's move just a little faster now. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, knees point to the left, hollow out lower belly right side. Inhale, knees back up. Exhale, over to the right, hollow out lower belly left side. So at the finishing of the exhale, it's a decision to engage left inner thigh to help you finish that exhale. One more time, inhale, knees up. Exhale, knees to the left, engage right side, including right inner thigh this time. Keep exhaling for much longer than you think you should. And one more time, knees up. Exhale, over to the right. Long, strong exhale. We're not done with the exhale, right? Even if you feel empty, keep exhaling. You'll feel that internal Uddiyana Bandha happening. That bring both knees back up. Take your inhale here. As you exhale, pick up the feet again. Turn the heels in, turn the toes out. And as the heels turn in and the toes turn out, press your hands now onto your thighs to push your thigh bones away from your shoulders until your arms are basically straight there. Take a deep in-breath here now. Reaching your arms. Hold on 1 second. Reach your arms over your head. Hopefully you are also feeling like you're raising the core temperature of your body at this point. As you exhale, we're going to engage the core first. And engaging that core, we're going to scoop the sacrum up off of the floor. Now, what we're not doing is trying to tuck the tailbone, okay? So the knees don't come in other words, all right? We're scooping pelvis up. It's a much smaller movement. Good. And then once you feel that engagement, lift your head and shoulders up and reach your arms through your legs. Do that again. Inhale, slowly lie down. Bring the back of the head to the ground. Bring your thumbs to touch behind your head or beyond the crown of the head. Exhale, engage, plug in. Lift the sacrum up without bringing your knees in close. Keep exhaling or let Uddiyana Bandha just support you. So even if you're empty, just come up, reach further forward, inhale, lie back down. One more time. Exhale, engage transverse abdominis here. So we're pulling the hips together, hip bones together. Stay empty as you lift or keep exhaling as you lift. Now working your abdominal wall as well as transverse. And inhale, release. Good. Bring just the left foot to the floor. Reach down with your right hand. Grab a hold of your right big toe with the first two fingers of your right hand. If that's not happening for you today because of some shoulder issue or whatever, please just take a hold of the outer shin or the outer thigh even. Good. Now, as you take your next inhale here, your left foot is still pointing out to the left. Bring your right leg to the right and see how far to the right it can go without feeling like you're over pulling on this right groin, right inner thigh. Now this left foot will come into play. Left leg will come into play. We're going to inhale and roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. And then inhale, bring the sole of the left foot back down and allow, you'll notice that the right leg will get closer to the floor as the sole of your left foot pushes down into the mat. Please keep your left glutes on the mat as well. Inhale, open the left knee out. And try to do that without the right leg coming with it a lot. It might need to move with it, but try to keep the right leg where we've already gotten it to. Then exhale, sole of the left foot on the ground, and the right leg gets even closer to the floor. Good, and one more time. Inhale, open the left knee out. Keep opening the right leg up. So we'll increase the stretch on both inner thighs and the groin, the entire groin here. Hold here in this position and actually come even more onto the outer edge of your left foot with your left knee top pointing toward the left side of the room. Breathe into the stretch. Take one more inhale. Good, and exhale. Bring the sole of your left foot to the floor. Keep your right leg where it is. On your next exhalation, we're going to bring the right leg using your right arm, right? Because the right inner thigh is not ready to work right now. Right arm's going to bring that right leg in, and take your left hand to the outside of your right shin and coax your right leg all the way across your body to the left. Keep your left knee bent and reach your right arm to the right. Open up the chest here and turn your head to look over your right shoulder. Take an inhale and a strong, long exhale to wring out. Again, we're finding lower belly, right side engaging, Uddiyana Bandha engaging, right there to hollow out that space inside your right hip bone. Inhale, roll onto your back again, sole of the left foot down. Reach the right leg up and take an inhale here. As you exhale, extend your right leg parallel with the floor. Clasp your hands behind your head, take an inhale. Exhale, bring the right leg directly back up over your hips. This time, pick up your left foot, take an inhale, extend the right leg forward. And exhale, bring your right leg in. Feel free to keep doing this. Otherwise, inhale, extend your right leg forward parallel with the floor and bring your right elbow to your left knee. And then bring it back up on your next inhale and bring the right leg as close to your torso as possible. And while the right leg comes in, push the left elbow into the right knee and the right knee back into that pressure. Inhale, stay on the same side, extend the right leg down again. And you can always do this on the exhale as well. Bring it back up. Push elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Just make sure you are breathing. Open that right leg back down to the ground. If this is too much, lie onto your back. Exhale, push elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Bring the right leg in as close as possible. Scoop the pelvis off the floor on purpose. One more time. And bring it in. Really pushing elbow into knee, knee into elbow, especially as the right leg comes in. Scoop the pelvis up. Good, and release. Draw both knees in and rock side to side. But hopefully you felt that. We're really targeting this inner Uddiyana Bandha one side at a time today. Let's bring the sole of the right foot now flat to the mat. And we're slightly turned out with the sole of the right foot, right? So your toes are still hanging off the mat. Grab your left big toe with the first two fingers of your left hand, or outer shin, or even outer thigh here, right? Just give your legs some support. You don't want to ask the inner thighs to be doing this right now because we are stretching the groin and inner thigh. Take an inhale, reach your right arm to the right. Good. Exhale, engage your left outer thigh to bring the right leg a bit closer, but to mostly just to support the stretch. And then roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Now, maybe it's just a tiny bit, but we get off the sole of the right foot. Then bring the sole of your right foot back, push down with the sole of your right foot. Let your left leg descend closer to the floor. Try to keep your left leg where we've placed it now, or where we've gotten it to, as you roll onto the outer edge of your right foot again. It's going to want to come way up. Let it come up in a millimeter or two, but again, try to stay where we've gotten it there with our movements today. Right knee comes back up, root through the sole of your right foot. The left leg will probably come closer to the floor again. And last time, opening to the right. And rooting down. Allow the left outer thigh to bring the outer edge of your left foot closer to the ground, or even touch the ground at this point. Now roll so much onto the outer edge of your right foot that you can feel that external rotation there as well. In both legs now, I should say. Breathe here for 3 more breaths. Make sure your right glutes are on the floor. And really, when I say the right glutes, I also mean the back of the pelvis, so your sacrum is descending into the ground. That may mean that you need to pull the back of your pelvis away from your lower ribs, scooping the sit bones toward the lower end of the mat. Use your left arm, bring your left leg back up over your left hip. Try to keep your right knee pointing to the right when you do that. And then take your right hand to the outside of the left thigh and cross your leg over to the right. You're rolling all the way onto your right hip bone here. Inhale into lower back left side. Exhale, hollow out lower belly left side. Scoop the left sit bone toward the left knee. And give yourself a little spinal adjustment perhaps today. Your right knee is bent. The outer edge of your right thigh is pushing into the earth to support that. And again, to help us find Uddiyana Bandha, or that feeling of hollowing out on the left side of the lower belly. Huge inhale into left side of lower back. Last time, take a strong exhale, engage here. Find that concave action. Let it draw the sit bone more toward the left heel and feel how that supports this lessening of tension in the lower back. Let roll onto your back and bring your leg back up over your hip, standing up onto the sole of your right foot. Clasp your hands behind your head, flex your left foot. Take an inhale and exhale the leg down, parallel with the floor. Inhale. Exhale your leg back up. Remember, you can always do inhale down, hold, exhale up, or whatever, right? But just make sure you are breathing throughout. Because we are working the abdominals in both directions, right? So again, if you want to just take it this far, the leg is going down. If you want to go one step further, pick up your right foot, bring your right knee over your right hip, and then bring the left leg down. If you want to work your obliques more, bring the left elbow to touch right knee, extend the left, and by the way, we're moving the leg slowly. You can rest on your right arm as well here. Push the left elbow into the right knee. Now bring your left leg in as close as possible, lifting the sacrum off the floor if you can. Inhale, bring the left leg forward. Exhale, push elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Bring the left leg as close to the left side body as possible, pushing the knee and the elbow together at the same time. Keep it going. We're going to do 3 more of these. Slow the movement down. Scoop the pelvis up. 2 more. Remember that as you bring that leg in, we're finding the lower abs on purpose. Last time. Good, and then lying onto your back, if you're not there already, clasp your hands around your shins or your knees, and again, rock side to side. Now place the soles of your feet flat to the mat, this time about sit bone distance apart. Take your arms alongside your torso. Inhale, sacrum down. Again, I'm going to overdo this so I can show you the difference. This is not what we mean by neutral spine. We do want the small of the back off the floor, but the back ribs on the ground to, again, the best of our ability. And slowly we'll start to be able to move more and more. Inhale, sacrum roots into the earth. Exhale, press the small of the back into the ground and scoop the sit bones toward the knees. Again, we're feeling that feeling of Uddiyana Bandha there. Now inhale, peel the small of your back up, the lower, mid, and upper thoracic spine off the floor. Once you get into your bridge pose, exhale, push down through both feet. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Chin comes up away from the soft part of the throat here, by the way. Exhale, the arms and the spine roll down slowly. Picture your spine as fluid right now in a hose, right? And so we're just laying that hose down, pulling the one end of the hose forward, right, as you come down, so that we don't just drop a huge part of the garden hose down onto the ground. Once you do land, take your inhale, let the sacrum descend, let the lumbar spine rise, not the entire rib cage. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up, press the small of your back down. Inhale, the arms will rise with the spine this time. Make sure you feel like your legs are taking over to help you slow down that upward movement. Your arms are following your spine up until eventually the backs of the hands press down. Exhale, push through the soles of your feet, engage in drawing the back of the pelvis away from lower ribs again. Inhale, lift the hips higher, reach fingers in one direction, knees in the other. Exhale, arms and spine down. So all of the spine housed in between the shoulder blades. Those are coming down one vertebra at a time. Then all of the spine housed between your lower back ribs. All of those come down one at a time. Then everything below the ribs starts to roll down slowly. Keep pulling the pelvis forward. And then finally, sacrum touches down to inhale our way into the small of the back. Last time, exhale, scoop the pelvis up. Keep the shoulders down away from your ears. Feel your abs working here. Feel Uddiyana Bandha there. Inhale, start to lift the rest of your spine up. Your arms come up just as slowly. Please pay attention to your vertebrae and work your breath to help the spine come up off the floor in that very floaty, buoyant way we've been practicing. Strong exhale, push down through the soles, lift the hips higher, pull sit bones toward knees, pull the top of the pelvis away from ribs. Exhale, bring your arms back down. Think about your spine now as a string of pearls, and we're putting one pearl at a time onto the floor. We're controlling this movement with our core, with Uddiyana Bandha. So if you're already empty, just keep holding empty. Once the pelvis touches down, take your in-breath. And exhale, find neutral spine. Great job, good. Let's draw the both knees into the chest. This time we're gonna hold on to the backs of the thighs. Exhale, bring the legs in. Inhale, rock forward all the way up into Navasana. We're gonna do that a few more times. Rock back, bring the legs in. Use your core to help you come up to Navasana. Take it slowly. Move onto your back. Roll onto the back of the head gently. Legs come in. And then just a slight kick up into our Navasana. Now reach your fingers past your knees. Take an inhale. Extend the legs out. Lean back, but keep the chest open. Exhale. Bring your knees in. And the soles of your feet are going to just hover above the floor there. Inhale. Extend. Exhale, bring it in. Soles of the feet down. Inhale, extend, open up. Balance on the sit bones. Exhale, bring it in. Just two more. Soles of the feet down. Great job, everyone. Place the soles of your feet to the ground. Bring your hands back behind you. Point your fingers toward the back edge of your mat. Inhale to bend the elbows and open the chest here. You can stay here or exhale, lift the pelvis up. Keep your elbows soft. Take one more deep inhale, lift the hips higher. Exhale, bring your hips down, but keep the shoulders open so that as you lower the hips, the chest doesn't cave in, okay? Again, we're gonna take the fingers out now to either side. Inhale, open chest, bend elbows. Stay here and exhale. You don't have to lift the hips up. If you are gonna stay here, you're just hugging your spine with your spinal muscles on purpose. Otherwise, pelvis comes up. Inhale, breathe the hips higher, elbows stay soft. Engage your glutes and hamstrings. Exhale, hips down, elbows bending, chest broadens as you lower. Fingers point toward glutes. Take your inhale and open up. Exhale, push down through the soles of your feet. Lift the hips, pull the knees forward, pull the crown of your head back. If your neck is tired, bring your chin into the soft part of the throat. Keep the elbows soft. Take one more deep inhale. Please make sure the backs of your legs and your glutes are working. Exhale, lower the pelvis without engaging the front of your body. So this actually keeps you in an extended spine position. Great work. Good. Now bring your legs forward. Take an inhale, straighten out your legs. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, dive over your legs, reaching past your toes. Let your neck relax and the crown draw forward. Inhale, rise slowly. Swivel your arms through your shoulders. Lean back and point your fingers at your toes. Inhale, reach up. Back into Dandasana. Exhale, forward into Paschimottanasana. Inhale, Dandasana. Exhale, lean back, Navasana Variation. If you want to go further, lift your heels. Legs are straight this time. Inhale, bring the legs down, flex your feet, arms rising. Exhale, forward. Crown towards your toes. Walk your sit bones back there. Inhale, rise. Circle the arms through the shoulders, reach forward and lift the legs. If you want to, you can always keep the legs down. Good, last time. Sweep the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale, dive. Come on up, on a long in-breath. Circle around Navasana, or just keep the legs down. This time we will move into Paschimottanasana and hold Paschimottanasana. Exhale, draw your torso over your legs. Let your forehead rest towards the shin. If you do want to hold on to your feet here, remember that we are holding on without pulling or yanking. We're not using our arm strength to pull ourselves down. You can use your arms here, but use your abs more. Soften this neck area, letting your head draw forward first. Okay, so you may even want to manually just take the fingertips to the base of the skull and just make sure that the chin is moving away from the soft part of the throat. Bring the forehead down to the shins after that. Take your arms out of the equation at any time by just draping them back behind you so that you can, again, ask your abs to do the work that your arms are usually doing. Remember that during Uddiyana Bandha is where you can really find that engagement and the strength to take you deeper into the stretch. Quads are strong too here. Take 2 more breaths. At the end of your next exhale, dive to your deepest place. Reach past your toes. Rise up on your inhale. Circle the arms around and through and lean back. You can keep the heels on the floor here. Reach your arms forward or even up, or bring the legs up and keep them straight. We're here for just 3 more breaths. Play around with where you're placing your levers. Remember, if you bring your arms higher, you're going to be taxing the abs more. Take one final inhale here. While your legs are still up off the floor, bring them in, but point the knees out to either side, and then let the outer edges of your feet come down to the mat for Badakanasana. Remember, the heels don't have to come way in. If that means your knees are up here and your shoulder time, slide the heels further forward. Walk the sit bones back just a bit. Good. And then take the thumbs to the inner edges of your feet and just coax the inner edges of your feet away from each other so that we're not trying to push the soles together here. Reach the arms overhead, take an inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the left elbow to the floor. Feel this left side engaged. Decide to make sure, even if your right knee comes up, I'm exaggerating this quite a bit, but even if the right knee has to come up, that's fine. Okay, for right now. Stay out of this left shoulder. And then pull the knee more to the right without your right sit bone needing to come back down to the floor. Good. And notice the difference between when the knee is up and when the knee is down. Notice that on the left side of your body. Okay, so as the right knee comes down, even though the right sit bone isn't down, that's when you're going to feel that internal and external oblique working. Good. Come back up, take an inhale, sweep up. Exhale, right hand down or right elbow down, or start to let the right forearm, I almost called that the forearm a sit bone, right forearm descend. Now notice on this side, I'm definitely less flexible on this side. So I feel this caving in, right? So I'm gonna let the left knee come up, open the chest back up, come onto the elbow if possible, then just start to pull the left knee to the left, which will not make me cave in. It will just make me feel more on lower back, on the lower side body of the right side body. Keep pulling that left knee away. We did this one pretty much the same thing a moment ago on our back. Good, come on up. We're gonna move a little faster, maybe slide the heels just a little further forward if you need to. Exhale, left hand down. Allow the right knee to come up as you bring the left elbow down. Open your chest here. In fact, we do this a lot here, but let's just go ahead and reach the right hand back to grab your left ribs. Pull those left ribs forward, the back of your left rib cage forward. Then bring your right arm up. Then pull the right knee to the right. Right sit bone stays off the ground. Do not sink into your left shoulder. Push the floor away with your left forearm. Feel the internal engagement in lower belly left side and lower back left side. Rise up. Sorry, I said we were going to go faster with that one, and I think we took more time. Bring the right forearm down, so we've got to stay here for a while too. Let the left knee come up, drop onto right forearm. Bring your left hand to the back of the right rib, coax those right ribs forward, okay? And then keeping your left armpit open to the sky, start to bring the left knee back down to the ground without needing to bring the left sit bone down to the ground with it. Stay out of this right shoulder and keep pushing down with the forearm. Once you really push with the forearm instead of the sink into the elbow, you'll feel even more on the right side. Good. Come on up, inhale. And we won't do a third set of that since we took so long. Let's take the hands back behind us. With the heels still, with the soles of the feet still facing each other but not touching. Bend your elbows and take your deep in breath. And this time we're going to let the elbows, so we're standing up onto the pads of the fingers here, by the way. We're going to let the elbows flare out. We're going to cave the chest in on purpose and spread the shoulder blades. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, shoulder blades wrap around the spine. The sternum floats to the sky. Elbows are fairly straight but not locked, right? Not hyperextended. As you exhale, elbows flare out. And as you exhale, you could also put your hands on the floor, but I just find there's no range for me in my wrist. If you have more range of motion in your wrist, please feel free. Chin comes in, shoulder heads are going to cave in, abs are strong. Last time, straighten out those arms, lift the heart. Let the front ribs flare open. Let them flare open. As you exhale, lean back, bend the elbows, flare them out to either side. Shoulder heads cave in on purpose. Shoulder blades move away from each other and off of the back. Good. Last time, we're going to take your inhale, move back into an extended spine position, sweeping the arms overhead. And as you exhale, dive past your toes. Inhale, rise slowly. Now, if you can do that without pushing your feet together, please do. But if you need to, push the soles of your feet together, even as you're lowering. When you're ready to lift, push the soles of your feet together. Hold Uddiyana Bandha. We've already exhaled. We're going to hold Uddiyana Bandha and lift with emptiness. When the arms come overhead, we inhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, go forward. Okay, hold your out breath here. Push soles of feet, everyone, try this. Push soles of feet into each other. keep that pushing going. You'll notice how that tones up the lower abs. Then inhale when the arms are ready to rise overhead. One more time. Exhale forward. Hold empty, find Uddiyana Bandha. While engaging Uddiyana Bandha, push your foot into your feet into each other, and then inhale the arms up overhead. Good. Release that down. Nice job, you guys. Let's extend the right leg out to the right. Bring the left heel in. In fact, let's extend both legs out just so they've been bent a while. Shake them out. Once you've shaken out your legs, we're going to take a hold of the outer thighs here and bend the elbows, lean back and pick up the legs. Now your legs can be bent. Okay? What I want you to make sure you're not doing again is not sinking into your lower back. Okay, so we want to be balanced on the sit bones. If that means you need to keep your knees bent, do. If you want to straighten the legs out, make sure you're externally rotating the thigh bones. Inhaling here. If you're more flexible, take the outer shins. If possible, you can also grab the big toes. Right? As you exhale, engage your quads. Make sure your knees stay soft. And bring your left heel in toward your left sit bone. Inhale, open. Exhale, right heel to right sit bone. Activate lower belly right side while you're doing that, by the way. Leg out. Still balancing on sit bone. Left heel to left sit bone. Hollow out lower belly left side. Extend. Good. And bring right heel in. Right side of lower abs are working, which means you really have to focus on finishing your out breath. One more time. Exhaling. Heels in. Balance on the sit bones. Your spine stays extended. Heel in. Finish the exhale. Because we could do this all day, right? This is nothing. It's deciding to engage that makes the difference. And then another side. Right heel comes in. Lower belly right side engages. Feel the support there, rather. Good. Now go ahead and extend both legs back out. One more inhale here. Exhale, let go of your legs and let your legs slowly place themselves on the ground. Back into that Upavishta position. All right. Now let's go ahead and keep that right leg extended out. Bring your left heel in. Take a deep in-breath and reach up. I'd like you to push the pads of your left toes into the inner thigh of the right leg if you have that flexibility, if it doesn't bug this left knee. Okay, and then we'll take a twist, taking your right hand to the outside of the left knee. Turn to look over your left shoulder. Inhale and lengthen your spine up. Exhale, push your toes into your right inner thigh. And push your right inner thigh into your toes at the same time. Notice how much more tone you get through the core. Do that once again. Inhale, rib cage is rising, shoulders are down. Lift the right sit bone this time on purpose. Exhale, push right inner thigh into your foot, foot into right inner thigh, and go further. Good. Slowly unravel. Reach the arms up. And keeping your chest open, dive to the side, reaching past your toes if possible, but keep the chest open, right? Come back up, inhale at the top. Let's try that with our bandha. Exhale to the side, keep the chest open. We're already empty, right? Once you're empty, engage the bandha over here, lower belly right side, push to the right sit bone to rise back up. Again, exhale, reach to your right, keep chest open. Exhale all the air out. Engage the right side of the lower abdominal area. Keep engaging, keep engaging, keep engaging. Now inhale as you rise. Awesome job. Bring your hands back behind you. Take an inhale and lift the chest. Exhale, push down through left shin. Lift the glutes if you want. And hold here for a few breaths. Breathing into the right hip flexor, especially after the work that the right hip flexor just did for us. If your neck gets tired, bring your chin in. Make sure you're not letting your head drop back. Make sure the shoulders aren't up around the ears. But slowly release the hips down. Take an in-breath and bring the hands back from behind you. Let's just switch legs. So right heel's going to come in, left leg extends out. The pads of your right toes are touching your left inner thigh. If that means you need to bring your left leg in a bit closer, that's really where the direction we want to head here because of what we're doing, right? So pushing the foot, you can even bring the sole of your left foot into the, sole of right foot into left inner thigh. And both arms up, inhale. Exhale, right hand comes back behind you, left hand to outside of right knee. Push your right foot into your left inner thigh. Push your left inner thigh back into that pressure. On the inhale, we look for length. On the exhale, we establish more strength. Pushing foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Allow the left sit bone to rise off the floor just a bit and go a little further, turning your head to look over your right shoulder. Please take one final breath. Get taller without using your shoulders to do so. One more exhale, push. Foot into thigh, thigh back into foot, ring out, empty out. While you're empty, tense up even more. So soften, I should say, even more to go further into the twist. Inhale to open it back up. Both arms are rising. Exhale over your left leg. We're going to reach the fingers past the toes if possible. You can close off your chest. It's not going to hurt anything, but it just makes it easier to find when we keep the chest open because there's that deliberate engagement that has to happen. So once you're empty, find your bandha and lift while empty. Inhale when the arms come overhead and elongate the spine again. But exhale, keep pushing your foot into your thigh, by the way. Diving to the left, chest stays open. We go slowly with the exhale. We finish the exhale. Find that cinching in, hollowing out feeling, and let that pull you back in. Inhaling the arms up. Last time, diving to your left. Once you're empty, engaging on purpose before you move. Then lift, staying engaged, then inhale when you can feel that the engagement is no longer necessary. Fabulous job. Bring your hands back behind you. Take your inhale and lift the heart. Exhale, you can always stay seated, by the way. Otherwise, push down through right shin and really do that. Really push to the right shin. That'll help get the glutes off the ground. Remind your glutes to stay engaged. Just left foot, you want to keep it active so you could point or flex or kind of be halfway in between those yoga feet. Chin into the soft part of the throat or chin up to the side. Your crown is reaching toward the wall behind you if your chin is up, not down to the ground. Activate your triceps while you're here so that we have that little extra leverage to open the shoulders. On your next exhale, release the hips slowly back down to the mat. Good. Once you get there, bring your hands from behind you. Nice work. And one more time, let's extend both legs out to either side of the room. Making sure that the toes are pointing toward the ceiling here. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Now, this one is more, it's more challenging because for most of us, our legs are going to stop us, right? But again, you can bend your knees if you need to. But you're going to get to a point as you go into that forward fold where it feels like it's just way too much to ask of your core. I'm going to have you take your arms to the side at that point, or even hold on to your thighs. But continue, if possible, to engage your bandhas and see how far you can go into that forward fold. Then hold empty as you lift again. Take an inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, start with your arms overhead, reach forward. For me, about right here, I know if I keep reaching, I'm just going to fall forward. So I'm going to reach the arms out and then hold on to the shins as I continue to use the core here. Good. Hold empty. Engage, engage, engage. So you're not just holding empty, you're engaging in the action of out breath as you lift. Inhale the arms up. Just one more time, make sure your knees aren't sickling in, your toes aren't sickling in. You've got to get that out, external rotation. Not that we have to fully turn out, right? Just toes toward the sky. Rising, inhale, exhale, quads strong, abs strong. Bring your hands to the ground as well. That's another way to do this, but just make sure that your hands there. Don't tell your abs that they don't need to work, right? Let them work. See how far you can go. Kneecaps are still pointed toward the sky. Toes are still pointed toward the sky. Strong exhale. Once you're empty, push down with your thighs. Engage, stay engaged, keep engaging. Inhale, arms rise. Nice job. Exhale, bring hands back behind you. Good. At this point, we're going to bring the fingers to point in. Drop back down onto your forearms and your elbows, lifting up out of the shoulders. Bring the knees back in very close to what we did before. Walk the elbows out. Once you're on your back, bring your knees, toward each other, stacking the knees over the hips though, so that your thigh bones are perpendicular with the floor and the ceiling. Reach your arms out to either side of the room. Inhale here in neutral spine position. So we want to keep those back ribs down. Exhale, both knees are going to move to the left. Your legs will hover there about, let's say, 6 to 8 inches above the floor. Take an inhale, but push the right shoulder blade down into the ground and try to move more of your right ribs into the floor at the same time. As you exhale, engage first. This lower belly right side will engage. Plug into that and bring your knees while you're empty slowly over your hips. Inhale, knees over hips. Exhale, knees to the left, shoulder blades stay cemented to the floor. As many of your back ribs as possible stay cemented to the floor. Hold here, take an in-breath. Exhale, engage. Don't move yet, just engage. Hollow out lower belly left side. Keep that going. Keep the emptiness happening. Keep the control of that strong contraction contracting as the knees come back up. If you feel like that's still too easy, extend the right leg to the sky. Exhale, do the same thing. Turn your legs to the right. This time, turn your head to the left. I'm sorry, bring your legs to the left, turn your head to the right. Right shoulder blade on the floor. More of your right ribs on the ground. Exhale, engage, squeeze in, hollow out. Keep actively hollowing out as the legs come up. Switch sides, inhale, extend left leg, bend right knee. Exhale, both legs to the right. Not relying on momentum at all. Let the legs hover there, inhale. Get the left ribs more onto the ground. Exhale, engage, plug in, hollow out, and then move slowly. The slower you go, the more you're going to be completely aware of the muscle groups firing up. Now, some of you will be able to bring the legs straight here. Try this, take an in-breath. Exhale with both legs straight, move to the left. But if the legs drop, then that means we're going to be pulling on our spinal ligaments, which we do not need to be doing. Legs move slowly, you're okay. Next exhale, we engage. Right? Feel that engagement. Keep engaging actively to move the legs. So even as you're empty, move with that engagement. Take another inhale at the top and one more time to the right. A strong exhale. Both shoulder blades are on the ground throughout. Let the legs hover. Inhale. Exhale. Decide to engage. Hold empty. Keep engaging while empty. And bring the legs over your hips. Good. Very slowly, fluidly, rhythmically. One more inhale here. Awesome job, you guys. Keep the legs straight. Bring the hands to the calf muscles and bring the legs in close to the chest, allowing the sacrum to rise. Take a deep in-breath here. As you exhale, bring your arms down to the ground. And now you can either move into Viparita Karani, which is with your heels directly over your sit bones. You could even put a pillow or a block underneath your glutes there, or even your hands can be underneath the sacrum. Now, if you would like to, you can move through this pose by moving the legs in and legs out. Or if you want to go into a plow pose, which is fun, Push down through your palms, or if you want to, you can place your hands to the lower back or the back of the pelvis and coax the legs over your head, chin up away from the soft part of the throat, by the way, so we're not flattening out the spine. And then you can move halfway out of it and halfway back in. I'm going to invite you not to stack your hips over your shoulders here, just because we don't have props to keep the neck safe. Or you could even roll all the way down to the ground slowly. Back into Viparita, that's your inhale. And then from Viparita back into Plow Pose, hands to the glutes to help you, or even just push down to the elbows to bring the legs back. That's the exhale. Inhale, hands can come to the pelvis to slow everything down, or keep the hands on the ground, use some arm strength to slow everything down. Roll slowly one vertebra at a time out of that half plow and back into Viparita. Okay, so lots of options on that. Please do, or stay still in whatever pose you've chosen. Stay still, move, do whatever you'd like to. But please find a way to take about 6 more really deep breaths. Conscious inhales, conscious exhales. Whether you're moving with those conscious exhales or not, remember that really it isn't until the end of the exhale that we find, right, the support we're looking for here today. And after you've done around 6 more of those, I'll invite you to take any final spinal twist of choice. Depending on where you feel the spine may need some more mobility work, or where you feel that there might be some tension that just needs to be worked out. Good. So some supine, so you can still lie onto your back, a supine spinal twist. Once you find that twist, stay there for about 3 to 5 breaths on each side. And now notice how when you're in the twist, whatever twist you've chosen to take, there's that tendency to check out, right? Because we've been really focused on what we're doing and how to initiate a twist, right? Among other things. But decide to just be present for the twist and watch the muscles that do engage. Decide to engage the same muscles we've been working with. Take it to the other side when you have taken 3 to 5 breaths on the first side. Again, the mind will want to wander away. Decide to stay with your body. Decide to notice. Decide to engage consciously rather than leaving it up to chance. Remember, the inhale is always about receiving, lengthening, opening, expanding. Make sure you're inhaling as well. Once you have taken 3 to 5 breaths on each side of that twist, extend your legs out beneath you, your arms alongside of you. Move into Shavasana or any other pose of relaxation that you would like to take. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Look inside at the muscles we've been working, and let's go ahead and put the hands back where we were at the very beginning of our practice today. Hands right on the low, everything below the belly button. And even though the breath is now subtle, make sure you're still allowing the rise of the abdomen and the natural deflation on exhale. Please attend to this part of your body. Listening, feeling, perceiving, engaging. Not physically engaging the muscles, but engaging with this part of your body for just a few more moments. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.